stuff is going to get real spicy because Lana, who was recently released from WWE, can't wait to spill all the beans on what has happened between her and WWE, especially with Vince McMahon after being silenced. Let's get to this first story in the wrestling news and rumors for today, and it's from the New York Post. It says here, former WWE star Lana has threatened to spill the tea on WWE chairman and CEO Vince McMahon's company after being silenced for years. She's obviously one of 6 wrestlers that was recently released by Vince McMahon. The news comes a year after her husband Rusev, now called Miro, is TNT champion for AEW. Says now 36-year-old Lana has spoken to her fans on Instagram Live about her exit, and she's promised that she will be opening up about her time in WWE, including standing up and speaking out on things for years she's been silent about. So she can't wait to spill the tea because it's hot and delicious. I look forward to standing up and speaking out on things for years I have been silenced about. Lana also mentioned how she cried after her release while her husband did cartwheels when he was released 12 months ago. So this is going to be interesting stuff. It'll be interesting to see what she's actually talking about. She says it's hot and delicious, the stuff she's going to spill on Vince McMahon specifically and what she has stood up for, what she has been silenced about. It could be major stuff. It could be really nothing at all. We don't know. But the fact that she's coming out and saying it that way could be a lot of stuff. Could be stuff to do about with Rusev's time there. Maybe the Bobby Lashley storyline. What happened with Liv Morgan in that storyline. A lot of that stuff. When they first broke up, Rusev and Lana, she went with Dolph Ziggler and he went with Summer Rae. So there's a lot of things that we can get coming out of this, what she stood up for. Maybe it's been the tag team division, the tag team wrestling division, the women, and she stood up for that maybe, or the fact maybe she's been bullied around because she's not really that good in the ring. A lot of stuff like that. There could be a lot of stuff that she can bring out to the limelight here. It'll be interesting to see where she puts this out. Will it be on her Instagram? Will she do a shoot interview like you see on YouTube? Any of that stuff. It'll be interesting as to how that's going to break down. But can't really wait until she's able to kind of speak out, and maybe she's waiting after her 90-day non-compete so she can come out and say whatever the hell she wants about the company, and most likely probably show up in AEW managing Rusev or Miro or something like that. But big stories coming out from the New York Post that she will spill the beans on Vince McMahon and everything going on in WWE. Obviously you have CM Punk, John Moxley, other people coming out and saying how things work inside WWE. But it's always nice to hear these things because it gives you a nice, peek behind the curtain and how the company is running and certain people's perspectives and point of views when it comes to what went on backstage and why they're not with the company and their grievances being aired out. So it's always cool to see these shoot stuff come out. So we'll see when Lana reveals all the stuff she has to say about Vince McMahon and WWE. Now let's get to this next story. Because of last night's NXT Takeover in Your House. Well, previously there was rumors of Samoa Joe returning back to WWE after he was released after WrestleMania 37 for Adnan Virk, right? So last night on NXT Takeover in Your House, the show ended with William Regal in tears saying that it's time for a change, that he's lost control of the entire locker room. Now, if you watched my live stream last night, I did with my guys from West Coast Pop, and we reviewed the show, I brought this up. That it seemed prying for Samoa Joe to be the guy to take the spot and become the new general manager of NXT because he's an imposing figure. Obviously, he's a former wrestler, and he can maybe control the locker room a bit better in storyline purposes. And, I don't know if he's able to wrestle or if he's cleared to wrestle whatsoever, but the fact that he was in talks to come back, it just lines up perfectly. Plus, it has to be somebody big and a big shift and a big change because they saved that William Regal spot for the ending of the show. That was the last thing on NXT TakeOver in Your House. So with your champion celebrating at the end and you cut to William Regal in the back and that's how your show ends, it's got to be something huge. So this is reportedly what they're saying here is that he's reportedly returning to WWE NXT for a non-wrestling role. I mean, your boy called it. I mean, what else could it possibly be? It looks like he's going to be the GM of NXT. So it was reported last week that NXT officials wanted to bring back Joe to work as an in-ring talent and that he was briefly at the Performance Center in Orlando earlier in the week. Now, PW Insider reports that Joe's coming back to work exclusively with the NXT brand. Joe's return to the company comes after Triple H reportedly snatched him back as soon as possible. A source noted that Triple H was not happy with Joe being let go and wanted him back in NXT instead of going to work elsewhere away from WWE. Triple H was the point person responsible for signing Joe back in 2015 and at one point gave him a unique contract where he was able to continue working indie dates. Remember that when he showed up there, he was able to finish out the other indie dates he had there while still being featured on NXT television. Joe was not backstage at TakeOver in Your House on Sunday, and there's no word on when he will officially make his return. Joe has not wrestled since February 2020 due to concussion. He was working as a Raw commentator and all that stuff like that. It was noted that when he was at the WWE Performance Center in recent weeks, he was not taking any bumps. So regarding Joe's in-ring return, it is believed that while he could wrestle at some point, that is not the goal for his upcoming return, as they want Joe to focus more on non-wrestling duties. It's possible that Joe's return is related to NXT General Manager William Regal teasing change in the NXT brand after the end of TakeOver last night. WWE is promising that there will be a follow-up to Regal's teaser on NXT's Tuesday episode. Dave Meltzer noted on the Wrestling Observer Radio that Joe has been given a Regal-like role with NXT, and that Joe is the favorite to replace Regal, if the pro wrestling legend steps down. Yeah, so I think I've also heard stories that it may be an expanding contract they may give him, that he may be able to expand his role while doing his time in NXT. Yeah, keep him in NXT. He was tremendous in NXT. He was good in the main roster for the little bit of time that he was actually in ring, because he got hurt a lot. And he was good on commentary. Everything he does, he excels at, Samoa Joe. Great to see Triple H going on a limb and bringing him back, and really going out there to get a guy that he wanted in the first place in 2015 when he went out there and got him. And he ran point on that. He's running point on the return of him. And it'll be awesome to see him back on television, and on WWE television. I think pretty much I called it yesterday after the pay-per-view that it seems like Samoa Joe's the guy to take the spot from Regal. Seems plausible. It makes the most sense, has the biggest impact. And the way you ended the show, a takeover with William Regal there, Samoa Joe seems to be the guy to take that spot. And he could be an ever-expanding role where he could eventually become an in-ring performer again and continue from there on. So we could see, but it's great to hear Samoa Joe making a return. Hopefully this is true, and I really think it is, and I think he's going to take Regal's spot. When that happens, could happen this Tuesday, could happen next Tuesday, they could wait till Great American Bash to do it. They have some time, but let's see when it does happen. But big story here. Samoa Joe hopefully coming back and hopefully becoming the NXT general manager and more. So with that, along with the big news from Lana, a pretty noteworthy day in wrestling news today. But guys, that's the wrestling news and rumors for today. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure you drop a like on this video. Hit the chair in the corner, sub to the channel. Make sure you check out that stream I did yesterday with West Coast Pop on my channel about the review for NXT in your house. Check out that latest video I dropped as well on Saturday. Top 5 NXT champions who were wasted on the main roster. Joe is one of them. Make sure you check that out. I got some other stuff in the works. Make sure you tune in tonight for Monday Night Raw review and reaction right after Monday Night Raw. And tomorrow, you already know, NXT, we're going to review and react, and probably some news and rumors tomorrow as well if we have anything noteworthy to report. I would appreciate you guys for tuning in. We'll catch you guys on the next one.